Hi everyone and welcome back to SunBurst Tarot, where today we're going to be doing a little bit of, I don't know if we'll call it like a do's and don'ts for Oracle decks. So if you haven't checked out my do's and don'ts for like getting your first tarot deck or just tarot decks in general, that's okay. Someone had asked for like an Oracle deck version of it, so I thought I would provide. So for today, I just got these two new decks today. They came in and went and got them. And I wanted to do kind of like the do's and the don'ts of Oracle decks. I have a couple. I'm not the biggest on Oracle. When I first started, I was really big on Oracle decks. They were kind of like my go-to. I was really good with them. They were like a lot of direct messages. And then I kind of moved over more towards tarot, and then using Oracle decks more for, how do I put this, like just like clarifiers and the such. I'm starting to get back into using my Oracle decks a little bit more. Uh, and I'm a little bit out of practice. The big ones that I kind of use currently are kind of like a lot of homemade Oracle decks I use, and then I also have my true crime Oracle deck, which I use a lot as well. But what I wanted to do today is kind of like go over a little bit of the do's and don'ts of oracles and kind of the different levels to oracles and what people like, what people don't, and the such. So, what I wanted to do first is, so I got these two new oracles today. And then I also, if that's okay, can I show you guys off today? That you guys are being yes or no? Okay, will be nice. Sorry, some decks like being shown, some don't. Some are a little bit persnickety, and that is okay. But I wanted to show you some of like some of my oldest Oracle decks. Along, if that's okay to show you guys. Yeah, I thought so. Versus kind of like some of the newer ones that I just picked up. So, for every person, it's going to be different, and for each reading, it's going to be different on what you like, what you don't like, and the such. So like I said, I don't have as many Oracle decks, or if I do, I don't use them as often. But the big thing when it comes to an Oracle deck, at least for me, is I like having pretty clear messages that come from them, or just really good imagery. So like a really good like beginner Oracle deck is like this newer one that I just picked up today, which is called. Let me grab the book. Hold on, hold on. And that is the Oracle of the Fairies from Karen K. So this is one that I just picked up today, and I really liked it from like a beginner, not like a beginner standpoint. It's just like each tarot deck, each Oracle deck is going to have a learning curve, right? But this one has a lot of the meanings put right on the cards, which I really like, especially in Oracle decks. If I didn't make them myself, because then I don't 100% know like the full meanings unless I go in, look at the guidebook, see what's going on, and the such. So, because like, for example, where are they? Right here they are. For example, this is like my own homemade Oracle deck that I made, so I know all of the meanings for it because I'm the one who made it. It makes a lot of sense to me. The hidden meanings, everything in here. I don't even have a good guidebook or things kind of written down. I just was like, I'm gonna make art, and then I'm gonna put my own, what is the, from the art that I made, what is the meanings that I've gotten from it. So that's what I kind of have with this. And this is just scrapbooking materials and stickers. That's what I made my Oracle deck from. And this is just one that I've made. So in Oracle decks, I find like you don't need to have a lot of cards. They can be large, they can be small, they can have a lot of different meanings. You can be looking at image, you could be just looking at the words. So when it comes to finding the best like Oracle decks for you, one, I think a lot of it is coming down to what are you using an Oracle deck for? Because like these Oracle decks, like the fairies one, is going to be really different than say like my true crime oracle, which is really different vibe, different things, and they can get really specific. So that's what I'm kind of seeing for like oracles is like what do you like? There's a bunch of different ones out there with a bunch of different themes. Like there's fairies, we got true crime, I've got animal ones, I've got this is like one of my oldest. This is actually my first deck ever, which is like I have a tree Celtic Celtic Rune Tree Oracle deck that I actually really like to use. I just haven't used it in a bit. And like even with like the different tones of stuff, like this is so I have like this fairy deck, and then I also have this fairy deck as well, which is a completely different vibe and like a different art style, and like they all have different meanings for different things. Maybe you're gonna have 3 fairy decks, but all 3 fairy decks are going to be different. You're gonna have Starseed Oracle decks. Some are really good with like some are like great with manifestation. Some are really good with like the moons and the cycles and timing and astrology and the such. So every oracle deck is going to be kind of different. And when we're kind of looking at like beginner oracle decks versus like maybe more advanced oracle decks, like my true crime oracle deck, this feels to me like one of the most the most basic of basic. It's really easy to pick up on. A lot of stuff is very easy to go with, and there's like sure there's interpretation with the imagery, but it's very straightforward. It has a very straightforward purpose, and it's great for just getting to the heart of the matter in a very direct way. Where with this oracle, like with a couple other oracle decks that I got, say like this, I haven't used this one, so I can't say too much about it, but I'll go with my fairy oracle. This fairy oracle, I need the book for it. It's got a lot of hidden messages, a lot of hidden meanings. There's reversals, there's there's reversals, there's upright, there's the imagery, there's this, there's like everything in between. I would say this is like a more advanced oracle deck. It was my 3rd deck ever. Let's just say again, maybe learn from my mistakes or not, but again, the imagery really brought like I was really into it. Also, this one has some nudity in it, so I have to be kind of careful as well with this deck, because like I can't I have lots of sticky notes on this one as well, just because there is nudity in this deck. So and that's kind of frowned upon on YouTube. So a little bit more of an advanced oracle. And then there's my Celtic Tree Oracle, which for me is a deck that I really resonate with, and like I love the imagery, I love the name of it, and then I also love that it's just got some simple keywords, and then from there, and the guidebook itself is like not super detailed, so it's a lot of it's very straightforward as well. So that's kind of the things when you're looking at tarot deck, like oracle decks. I like stuff with the writing on them, and I don't have to go look in the book for everything. But then there's some where it's like, yeah, I got to go look in the book for stuff because it's got a couple different meanings, and it's the same as learning a tarot deck, except it's going to be very specific to the deck. So that's what I kind of have when it comes to when you're looking for your oracle decks. What don't you need for your oracle decks? Again, you don't need to be gifted one. If you find one that you really like, and it's like not super expensive, and it's like, well, I should say, if it's within your budget, go for it. And everyone's gonna have a different budget for different things, X, Y, Z, and the such. Like again, I make a lot of my own. I think I have like 3 or 4 like homemade oracle decks that I've made because I am one, I like to be creative, and 2, I like scrapbooking materials and stickers. So I mean, that's what I do, because like I don't know how to draw. I should say I know how to draw. I'm just not. It's not a talent I have developed. So I just like making. I like just like making stuff and putting words to things, because that's something I enjoy doing. So that's what I kind of have here when it comes to just oracle decks. But I wanted to do a little bit of this reading, not a reading, but I kind of wanted to also do this here with y'all. Is kind of just an intro to an oracle deck, of kind of like I like to call it like an interview to your deck. Know your deck. What's kind of going on. So, and it's gonna be very similar to the tarot, like interview for your tarot decks as well. So, we're gonna start off with like what types of readings, or what is the thing? What are the types of readings that this deck is really good at? And then we're gonna ask, what what's the vibe of the deck? Like, not just what it's good at, but like what is its vibe? Is it going to be something that's like you're blunt and to the point, or are we going to try finding the good and bad in situations? Again, we already is like this. The vibe of this deck is I'm just here to find balance, which is finding balance between work, rest, playtime, having more energy, and the such. So then I like to look at what is like a significator for how does the deck feel about me? Like what's my significator in this deck? Like how do they view me is kind of what we'll go with next. Also, I'm oh wait, okay. So that flipped over. Okay. I'll put that up there. So we got this. Like how do they view me? And then let's see how do they feel about what's the significator for this deck? We have their fairy spotting. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's all about fairies, so let's go find more fairies, right? And then I just want to see how do they feel about our relationship coming together. It's like fairies are like to be busy and group them up, showing that you many hands make like working as a team to help get the job done. So it's like, so what's our relationship? We're just coming together. We're gonna here to get our job done. And then we look, what kind of readings is this deck really good at? We have when you gaze at the stars, stargazing. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what is needed to know about your situation. So this reading is really good for doing like intuitive readings. It's kind of giving. It's like when I'm like, okay, this is like download, and then this is kind of like a guide to the downloads of like getting to those downloads. And then in the middle of the deck we have the wait for winter. So I'm also getting here where it's like, hey, make sure that our intentions are for the highest good. This is going to be a deck of like, okay, let's get to the heart of the matter. Let's find balance within this situation so we can kind of move forward within love and light and the such. So yeah, like how do they see me? Divination. I mean, that's what I'm kind of doing here. So this seems like a really fun deck that I'm actually really excited to work with. And the such, it seems like we're going to start off on a pretty good note here already. So yeah, so that's the first deck. And then if you guys want to join me for the second one. So this deck, the second one is called the In2it Map Oracle. Here's the guidebook for it. And again, if y'all really like guidebooks, I'm kind of just showing this one off. This one has upright and reverse meanings. It looks awesome. It really reminds me, it's by the same person who does the Animal Oracle. Which is like, the Spirit Animal Oracle, which I absolutely love this deck as well. So, and this one has like a more matte finish versus the glossy finish that this one has. So, two very different style of cards, but I love them both. Again, we have White Raven Spirit wants to keep popping out, so trust in the magic that's kind of going on around us. So, but let's take a look here. And this one I think I'm going to need the guidebook a little bit more for, but it seems like we have some pretty good keywords as well that we can help us guide or make things really intuitive. So let's shuffle this one up here. I like to shuffle, and then we'll do the big shuffle. And we'll do the interview. Because why not? Let's just check in with a couple new ones as we're kind of like looking at different things, people, places, things, and the such. So with that, let's get into it. How does this deck, an interview with the In2it Map Oracle? Oh, also, I would say when I did go today, I was only expecting to get like I wanted a new, like I was like, okay, I gotta go today, I gotta go, and then I didn't know where I was going. Then I found this place, and then I'm like, ooh, fairies. I like fairies. I'm a big fan of them. And then I'm like, wait, this one, and like this one also popped out at me. It's like this one needs to come home with me today. So let's take a look. See here, mixture, all things up. And then are you guys one that just flip over? I'm hearing no. So let's take a look here. What's your vibe? Like, what's the vibe of this deck? What is it? What is kind of like, or I should say, what is the, what readings is this deck really good for? Ghostlands, I'll have to look that up at 17. Ghostlands. Okay. And then what is the vibe of this deck? Rescue. Very interesting. How do they feel about me? How does the deck, what's my significator in this deck? Stuck in the mud. Raggy. That's interesting. And then let's see what's the vibe of this deck? It's always listening. Interesting. What's the vibe of this deck? And then how does the deck feel about working with me? Let's take a look-see here. And again, this is kind of a realistic interpretation of things. So, follow the leader. Okay, well, let's grab the book and let's read some stuff out. Because again, I'm brand new. I don't got all the answers to everything. So, let's take a look at Ghostlands. It's number 17. Number 17, Ghostlands. So, what readings is this deck really good at? So it did come out reversed initially, but so let's just read. Do we read it like this? Yes or no? Do we read? What is this? Do I need to read this upside down? No. Okay. So let's just take a look. Number 17. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing. For rarely do the present and the future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no groundings as of yet. You can't step there, yet you can take measured steps toward a goal or dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. The now is the most important place to put your attention. So it seems like from this, you can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. So this deck feels like it's not going to be good for predictions. It's not going to be good at looking in the past. It's not going to be good at looking in the future. It's going to be like, we're going to be looking at the here and now. And if you are uncomfortable looking at you in the current day, well, sorry, that's what we're good at. That's what this deck is really, really good for. It's like, I'm here to read the current. I'm not here to read the intangibles. I'm here to read the tangibles. Okay. So, what is okay, so that's the readings that it's good for. What is it's the vibe of the deck, right? Yeah, so what is like the vibe of the deck? No, that's this. The vibe of the or not the significator. The vibe of the deck, 16. Asking for help isn't easy for many successful people. However, that's what you need to do as you expand your life. Okay, so what's the vibe of this deck? This deck's here to be like, okay, it's time to be like, okay, you've asked for help. I'm going to give you the help that you're asking for. It's almost like this is like, you're feeling stuck. Well, I think that's just me. It's like you're feeling stuck. You need a roadmap. But you're always looking into the future and you're not planning your day-to-day. You can't plan for the future if you can't even get to your day-to-day here. It's kind of what this is giving me. Also, looking here with the stuck in the mud is how do they see me? They're like, you're just going in circles and you're like trudging through, moving forward, but you're trudging through shenaniganery here. They're like, yeah, how do they see me? I'm stuck in the mud. You're being invited to stop and savor the wonder of your life. You don't always need to move forward. You don't always need to be... Yeah, because becoming stuck is sometimes the only way to trick yourself into slowing down and looking around you and enjoying what you have now instead of always going towards the future. Yeah, I'm like this. I'm like, I don't slow down a lot, and it feels like, you just need to slow down. Enjoy what you got. It's going to be good. You don't need to race to the next checkpoint, and then to the next checkpoint, and to the next checkpoint. Life is not there is no end game to life. There is no checkered flag where things end. There is only the journey, and if you're just always moving from checkpoint to checkpoint, are you truly living life, or are you just meeting goals? So... This deck is also, like, what its significator? It's always listening. It's like, it slows itself down. It's here to listen. It's here to learn and to like, okay, here's what's going on. You're stuck in the mud. You're doing things, and now you're just got to move forward. Okay. Now let's take a look at what's kind of like, how does it feel with me? The follow the leader. Every life is teaching. Every life is a teaching tool for others. Your authenticity and honesty are an example to those around you. Great. All right, let's read it out, shall we? It's like you're being called to lead by example. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventures of your life. The experiences of battles won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and the joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be of service to others. Your suffering has been crystallized into a talisman of wisdom. Now you must share it by being fully authentic. You'll lead others into the light. You'll be required to divulge some things about your past so that you may help someone else. Lead with love. There is another message here as well. Look to those whose great character and accomplishments you admire. Emulate the leaders you respect. You will then, in turn, have more to offer. Well, okay. I actually really like that. Apparently, we're going to be to love and light, y'all. To love and light. I don't know. I've always had this goal of I'm not here to save the world, but I'm here to unite it. So I look to achieve that goal every day, and yeah, it's like we can always look towards the future for changing things. We can always look to that to do things, but if we can't live in the here and now, how do we save things for the future if we can't even save the current? So I'm really intrigued. I'm really excited to work with this deck. I hope y'all enjoyed that, learning a little bit more about these two new decks that I've got, maybe a little bit more about me. And I hope that everyone enjoyed this, or if you guys have questions or the such, please let me know. I'd be really intrigued, and I love communicating and talking with everyone down in the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in more videos. If y'all have more questions, or if you want like deeper dives on certain things, I mean, I could do a deck collection at one point in time if y'all would be interested in seeing some of the decks that I have. What are ones that I maybe have kept for a while? Which ones are ones that I'm like, these are like my everyday users, and which ones are maybe I don't use all the time. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested. And thank you all again so very, very much. And I hope to see you guys in more videos in the future. So bye.